Hola, everyone. Welcome back to Travel Lovers Must Know. Today, we're diving into the heart of Portugal. Perched on the Atlantic on the edge of Western Europe, Portugal offers a veritable feast for a traveler's senses, especially when it comes to the taste buds. From sun-kissed coasts to cobblestone streets and fairy tale castles, this small country is diverse in landscape and sightseeing offerings. While Lisbon and Porto are usually featured in Portuguese travel itineraries, there's much more to fall in love with here. Seaside resort towns, mountain peaks, and verdant river valleys where time seems to stand still. Here are 10 not-to-be-missed places to visit on your next trip over the Atlantic. 1. Lisbon. Up to 30 years ago, this historic capital city was in varying states of disrepair, but today, thanks to a robust revitalization, this is one of Europe's most charismatic and vibrant cities. Colorful azulejos, ceramic tiles, glisten in its sun-drenched streets as vintage trams rattle up hills. Spectacular sunsets over the city's red-tiled roofs are cause for saudades, the Portuguese word for a feeling of yearning and nostalgia, which travelers will feel on their return home. Lisbon is a walker's delight, so meander through the cobblestone streets to its miradouros, lookout points to take in the city's views, spread across its 7 hills facing the Tagus River. Take the tram to Belém to marvel at Mosteiro dos Jerónimos, and reward your efforts with a delicious pastéis de Belém, the original pastel de nata, egg custard tart. Wander through the tangled alleyways of Alfama, where the traditional Portuguese music genre called fado was born. Stop into the Museu do Fado, and linger in the area for a sardine supper and fado show at one of the many restaurants in this district. 2. The Algarve. At the southern end of Portugal, the Algarve region shines with a memorable coastline, golden-hued cliffs, and beaches filled with sea caves. The coastline of Ponta da Piedade in Lagos features sea pillars, rock arches, and grottos in turquoise waters. It's breathtaking and surreal. So is the Benagil Cave, one of Portugal's most famous attractions. Sunlight streams through its pierced ceiling, illuminating a gold sand beach. 3. Porto. Overlooking the Douro River, Porto is known for its stately bridges, port wine production, and dizzying viewpoints above terracotta rooftops. Once a trade village, Porto is now enjoying the fruits of ongoing development with cool cafes, wine bars, and new cultural offerings that reflect the city's vibrant energy. Popular sites include the medieval Ribeira district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where tourists admire the atmosphere. Walk across the city's iconic Ponte de Dom Luís I Bridge to Vila Nova de Gaia to sip a glass of port, then catch a spectacular sunset at Jardim do Moro. Walk on the sea-facing promenade in Foz de Douro, admire the gilded interiors of the 15th-century São Francisco Church, and stop into the 2020 opened WOW! World of Wine, a sprawling complex of museums, restaurants, and bars near the river. 4. Douro Valley. For greener pastures, look to the rolling hills of the Douro Valley, one of the world's oldest and best-known demarcated wine regions, dating back to 1756. Famed for its terraced vineyards, with vines ribbing the contours of steep granite slopes, this valley is the birthplace of port. You can take a languid boat ride, 6-7 hours, from Porto to get here, but the best way to experience the region is to rent a car and visit Quinta do Novo and other wine-growing estates, known as quintas. Most offer public tours with wine tastings. 5. The Minho. Portugal's Vinho Verde hails from this verdant region of vineyard-covered valleys and towns frozen in time. Braga, one of Portugal's oldest cities, has many Baroque churches, and its old centre brims with cafes, traditional Portuguese restaurants, and plazas. A highlight of this region is Perched de Guiars, one of the world's few temperate rainforests, which border Spain. You'll need a car to head here, and while the curvy roads might make your stomach drop at times, the vistas are well worth the trek. The mountainous terrain with thick woods is punctuated by swift rivers, streams, and waterfalls. Canoe or hike, and meander through the region's medieval castles or monasteries, which are well integrated into the landscape. 6. Évora. A striking cathedral, cloisters, and the columns of the Templo Romano, near Roman baths, sit inside Évora's 14th-century walls. Romans began inhabiting the city in the 2nd century BCE, and many ruins, including the Temple of Diana, remain, along with palaces and convents built by later occupants, including the Moors and Portuguese royalty. Évora was deemed a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986, and the European Commission has designated it as 2027's European Capital of Culture. Tip: an experienced traveler shouldn't miss in this preserved medieval town is a soak in the serene Roman bath in Aqua Veritas. 7. Sintra. Portuguese royals used to spend their summers in Sintra, and it's easy to see why. This UNESCO World Heritage Site has storybook castles and fanciful gardens set in the hills, with imposing mansions and centuries-old monasteries rising from a backdrop of dense forests. The iconic former royal residence, Peña Palace, particularly stands out with its vivid red and yellow facade. Montserrat Palace is likewise grand and, like its gardens, is steeped in romanticism. 8. Coimbra. Coimbra, on the banks of the Mondego River, was once Portugal's capital and has an old town that dates back to Moorish times. It's also a vibrant university town, with one of Europe's oldest schools, the University of Coimbra, classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built on the grounds of a former palace, the university is famed for its Baroque library, the Biblioteca Joanina, and 18th-century bell tower. Take time to enjoy the lavish botanical garden of the University of Coimbra or the gardens of Quinta das Lágrimas. 9. Abidos. As a gift to mark their wedding day in 1282, King Dinis gave this town to his queen, hence its nickname, the Town of Queens. Stroll through the narrow streets of this small town, which is encircled by medieval walls and crowned by a Moorish castle. Travelers can find old whitewashed houses bordered with blue or yellow and historic churches worth visiting. As a UNESCO Creative City, Abidos hosts festivals, including the International Chocolate Festival, Abidos International Literary Festival, and Christmas Town. 10. Aveiro. Hailed as the Portuguese equivalent to Venice because of its canals, maritime Aveiro is set along a lagoon called Ria do Aveiro. Brightly colored malaceros, traditional boats, float on its waters, and the city offers Art Nouveau buildings like the Cathedral of Aveiro and the Museu de Aveiro. Plus, Aveiro is known for a sweet made with eggs and sugar. Look for ovos moles, soft eggs, sold in wooden barrels or wrapped in a crisp wafer in different shapes.